You know, I've always loved the mountains. There's something about their majestic presence that humbles you, you know? So when my friend Mark suggested we take a week off to relax in his family's vacation home nestled in the heart of the Appalachians, I couldn't resist. The house was a charming rustic cabin, made of old cedar wood, overlooking a quiet, serene valley. There was an air of quaint isolation that made the place feel both cozy and slightly eerie. The kind of place that made you feel you've stepped back in time, where smartphones lose their luster and the world slows down. I remember it was a chilly June evening when we arrived. The cabin was colder inside than out, a musty chill in the air, like it hadn't been used in a long time. We started a fire, shared a meal, and settled into the relaxed rhythm of the mountains. That first night, I woke up to the sound of tapping, a rhythmic, muffled sound. I remember how eerily quiet the mountains can be at night, and that tapping was the only sound that broke the silence. It seemed to be coming from the living room, so I crept downstairs. As I stepped into the living room, I saw a dark figure outside the window. It was just standing there, perfectly still. I jumped back, startled, my heart pounding. But when I looked again, it was gone. I shrugged it off as my mind playing tricks on me, chalked it up to the unfamiliar environment and the stillness of the night. The next morning, I shared my experience with Mark, but he laughed it off, saying the isolation was getting to me. He even joked that I'd met the ghost of some old mountain man, which, admittedly, lightened the mood. But that night, it happened again. The tapping. Only this time, I didn't go alone. Mark and I descended the stairs together. There was no figure this time, but there was a faint footprint on the dew-covered porch, a large, unusual print, not quite human. That sent a shiver up our spines. The next day, we decided to explore around the cabin. We found a small, old graveyard tucked away in the woods, a relic of the settlers from ages ago. I felt a sudden unease, a sense of dread settling into my bones. As the week continued, the incidents grew stranger. Objects moved on their own. Lights flickered. One day, we even found the front door standing wide open, despite both of us remembering locking it the night before. But what really shook us was the night we saw the figure again. This time, it wasn't just a shadowy figure. It was a man, but distorted, wrong somehow. His eyes glowed a fierce, unnatural yellow in the darkness, and he had a chilling smile plastered across his face. The following morning, we packed up our stuff and left, forgoing the rest of our planned vacation. The joy of being in the mountains had been replaced by fear and dread. As we drove away, I looked in the rearview mirror one last time. I swear, standing in front of the cabin was the man, that chilling smile still on his face. To this day, I can't explain what happened during that week. All I know is that there's something in those mountains, in that old cabin, that defies explanation. It makes you realize that some places, beautiful as they may be, hold secrets that are better left untouched. And that concludes this episode of Sinister Stories. Make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. Feel free to comment down below. And if you are so kind, support me on Patreon. And as always, thanks for watching.